Hey, we're back to another interview, and I'm a different interviewer, obviously, but who cares? I work for the same guy who interviewed 3J, whose video is uploaded right now, which is crazy because we got reviews, like 3J said, and this is actually happening basically right after. So 3J's review after work, but today we got um 3J's tag team partner, Jeyce Williams.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I
Here, the EPW Earth Champion is here in the building. Here we go. Hey, I'm pretty excited to do this interview, man. Because I don't think I've ever been interviewed, to be honest. So this is gonna be a first.
That is awesome. I have a lot of questions, starting with the first question, which I feel like it's a logical question. I do want to ask: are you and 3J kind of separating slowly?
No. I think maybe me and him we had like some sort of like miscommunication, like here and there. But me and him, we're pretty good. Like, yeah, like he said in his interview, I'm gonna say the same thing. Brothers fight sometimes, but that's brotherlyhood, and that's what brothers do. They fight, but they still love each other. And he's, I'd have to say, the reason why I'm holding this EPW Earth Championship right now.
Um, Sorry, Jace. These are some good Pringles. Uh,
Sponsored?
usually not sponsored, but
It's okay. I got my orange juice, bro.
next question here. Um, my next question is actually pretty. This is probably one of my last questions about 3J for a bit. Um, it's kind of a two-in-one situation. How long have you known that he has the EPW World Championship potential? And how long have you known about 3J's alter ego, or whatever you want to call it?
His alter ego was something that I knew for a while. Me and him obviously are things in the indies. We would always talk in the indies and we always do our stuff. And I was the one person that he would always like trust to keep a secret with, the same way I'd trust him with most of my secrets. And I feel like that's how I found out. I found out, I think maybe like a year before or something, a while ago. I remember it was a story, and then first time I saw him, I still don't know if I call it an alter ego, another side of him, but it works out to work pretty well for the EPW World Champion.
Sure. I have a question about you actually. How like take us on the journey. What's it like now? Like not only what it's like now, but how is it different from before being champion? Now you were a tag champion before, but like obviously now you're a single champion. How has that changed from being a non-champion to being a champion on the busy schedule side of things?
Yeah, it's pretty busy, but I'm pretty proud of where I got. I got 3J as my family, bro. I've been down with him forever, and like I said at the start, I'm all credit goes to 3J because if he wasn't the little brother that I've always wanted, then I would not be here at all, and I'd probably still just be stuck up, which I always thought to myself, maybe I'm stuck up, maybe I don't deserve this, but this championship that I'm holding right now proves that I'm not no stuck up, but this proves that I am one of the best. in the game.
I agree. You are one of the best. With your brotherhood, with obviously your friend 3J, uh, when Landon, we go back to Scotland. I think it was a show after Germany, after you guys took the tactiles. In Scotland, Landon had some things to say about your tag team partner's family. How does that relate to you? And like, how were you feeling once he said the stuff about 3J's sister, and how were you feeling in that moment?
You know, it hurt me because I've known 3J my whole life, and I know stuff like that is a pretty sensitive topic for him, and I feel bad for the position he was in. I felt many versions of anger, and I just wanted to do things that I wasn't able to do, but I'm thankful because I got to avenge my brother at Roadblock when I beat Landon at a 10 count in a Canadian death match.
It was a good match. I can't lie. A lot happened. You guys both were hitting each other with belts. It was insane. And then a lot obviously happened with Landon and 3J, and we've been seeing a more aggressive 3J. Where do you play in that part of 3J? We've seen it on Scotland when Landon said this stuff, and then we've seen it more over time when Landon said the stuff about his grandpa and the past relationship issues, which is a question about for later on about because we didn't really get to ask about what because you've known him a while, so I kind of want to get info on how that hurt 3J about the past relationship issues you've had. But what have you like? How do you relate to 3J's where is your position in 3J's crash out, as he would word it?
Unless I'm allowed to say this, which I don't think I should have, yet at least. I was the mastermind behind it. And some of you watching this interview are probably thinking, Jay, why did you make 3J be all aggressive and go after people and hurt people? Because I saw I saw 3J in a position of doubting himself every single week, thinking that he was like a bad guy and thinking that he just wasn't that top guy that I saw. And I thought it's passion that's important, but aggression is even more important. Aggression is something that could be used for multiple reasons, and bringing the crash out, the demon, whatever it is, bringing I know bringing the crash out. When I brought the crash out, I it was me wanting what's best for him. I want him to feel like he's at the top, and that's what he mentioned in his interview about brotherly love, where he he mentioned in your interview that well, he mentioned your other guy's interview that it's brothers who make the other brother better, and they keep trying to make the other better step by step. That is my plan with 3J right now, because he was in a mindset of he can't do it, or he's gonna, not gonna make it. He's not gonna be successful. And I was thinking if the way if the rising star doesn't work, then the crash out certainly will.
That was some nice words, Jace. That we still got a lot of interview left, and you're telling us a lot of questions that needed answered. I do have a question more related to you, less than 3J. Jace, I want to know. You wanted to go after the EPW champion. Do you still want to, or do you want to focus mainly on the EPW Rising Star Championship?
I want to be focused on mostly my Earth Championship.
I said the wrong title. My bad. I said the wrong title. DSW.
I was just about to mention that. But yeah, I want what's best for the Earth title. Cause I know one day that mine and his dream match is gonna happen. Whether it's for the championship or not, we need that dream match, big PLE main event. But I should be focused on my Earth Championship, and I think I should bring up the legacy that Blaze Fury left when Blaze Fury showed when he had the EPW Earth Championship, and that's doing open challenges, always putting this championship that I hold every single week, putting it on the line with new opponents every single week. And I lost some respect for Blaze, me and 3J. Known him since Down Under, known him since the Indies, remember him in the Gauntlet match that we had. I want to keep doing the open challenge every week, and I want to prove that I don't have to know my opponent to know I'm going to win, because I know I am the best EPW Earth champion.
Preach that. Preach that. Yeah, you are. I agree. A lot has happened, obviously, with, your schedule. You're a pretty busy man. So, again, this interview obviously isn't over, but I do want to thank you for taking the interview. And this question I have for you is something that you obviously known through for your whole life. How does that play into your tag team chemistry against the other teams?
It's just we've had this very strong bond. I remember the day we met. It was Independence Day from a couple years back. He showed me the ways of wrestling, and ever since then, I wouldn't be an EPW without him. But there's one other thing that's just biting my mind a bit more. All these tag teams thinking that they're gonna beat me and 3J, that they're gonna beat the Supremacy. No, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. I've had this exact line since I started wrestling. You either step up or you get stepped on. You either run up or you get done up. You don't mess with the Supremacy, and you don't try to take what's ours. Because at the end of the day, if anybody, any tag team watching this interview right now, if you even want to get into the ring with me and 3J, remember, at the end of the match, you will hear the ring announcer and still EPW World Tag Team Champions. The EPW Earth Champion, Jeyce Williams, and the EPW World Champion, 3J. The Supremacy.
That's actually good. Before I ask my next question, that's kind of related to 3J more because we didn't get to ask it. I do want to ask you about this tag team stuff that's going on with 3J. I want to ask you personally. I want to ask you. We got the Road to WrestleMania guy. I want to ask you about the tag team stuff and what you think you're going to do with the Earth Championship at Mania? Because obviously you got that tag team death match, and 3J was kind of confused what he's going to do with the EPW Championship. Now that he is the EPW Champion, what are you going to do with the Earth Champion, and what do you think is going to happen in that death match? Because obviously you and Landon already had one. Landon knows stuff that you might do, and you know stuff that he might do. You guys were already in that situation of a death match where both of you guys.
Yeah. I've been on social media, left and right, up and down. I have seen. You know what I've seen? I have sat there and seen hate comments because I won this championship. I have seen hate comments only because people think I'm overrated.
Taped out of 4
People
GTXs or something like that
that
before.
people think that I'm just the right hand man, not to 3J, but me and 3J, we're the right hand men. No. What's gonna happen is gonna prove to the world who the hell I am. So, EPW Mania. I will have the EPW World Tag Team Championships on the line, and I'll have the EPW Earth Championship on the line.
Making it clear, we will see the EPW Earth Championship on the line. Still don't know about the EPW Champion. But what we want to know is Landon said something to 3J about his past relationship issues. It seemed pretty small, but 3J has been more aggressive after the sister thing, the grandpa thing, and now the relationship issues that Landon mentioned. Obviously, this crash out thing that you already said you were pushing it, and it is pretty good that you're doing it because you guys are obviously successful. I want to ask how that has made him with bringing up his past relationship issues. How does that play a part in what he's doing? Like, why does he care so much about these relationship issues? And do you think these relationship issues are going to change before Mania, after Mania, or just never?
I feel like Landon stooped pretty low when he wanted to go around saying that, thinking that 3J is just nothing but a low life. But that was one of the reasons why I brought the crash out back. And yes, you heard it. I brought it back because the first time I brought it, he was a menace. He knew what he was doing inside and outside of the ring. But then it was gone. It was gone. And I didn't think I was going to see it again. But I brought it back because I knew that it was the right time to do so. And Landon, he can go around. He can talk about 3J. He can talk about me all he wants, but he don't talk about 3J badly. He can talk about our tag team. Yeah, sure. But you know what happened? No. He can sit there and think that me and 3J are just tag team guys. Sir, you know what I proved? Do you know what I proved? That I beat his ass. Because you remember Roadblock. You remember Roadblock when I kicked his ass and had him laying on the floor, bloodied to death, to the count of 10. So he want to keep going? He want to keep pushing? He can try it. But the last time he did, he was 10 feet under before he was 6 foot under.
Quote right there, generational quote. I love that. I love how passionate you are. Speaking of that, you were friends with Landon at one point. At one point in time, did you realize you needed to stop? I mean, 3J said something about him not loving him. Landon not loving 3J. At what point in time did you need to stop being friends with Landon? Was it because of 3J, or was it become something so different? I said become. I'm not Mox, but inside joke. Inside joke. Me and Jeyce. Yeah, we talked before the interview just to know each other a bit more, and we had an inside joke. Okay, but
If
like you know,
he he I always heard stories from 3J how Landon, the quote unquote great, was gonna be such a great friend, yet do all these things like be rude, be disrespectful, disrespect personal stuff in his life. I knew that it went over the line when he disrespected his family because his family is my family and I defend my family. If anybody mentions my family, they're going to get hit with this championship that I am holding right now that I will not be dropping. So he wants to go around, make big names for himself, and yet he wants to go around, call himself Landon the Great when he's such a great friend, even though he is going to put 3J in the pain that he's in, where he put me through the pain. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. You see, he thinks he gets the better of me, but I've mentioned this so many times. Who beat him at Roadblock? I did. Who is winning the best of the best between us? I am 1-0. He hasn't beat me no time. And at Mania, in that Eliminator match, it's not going to change. We're going to make it 2-0. And still.
Mania. We talk about Mania. A lot of questions about Mania, actually. Mania is the bear show. Do you think you can trust 3J, or maybe his demon going into Mania? Do you think you can trust something that he can't control, as he said?
That's a good question. That is the one thing about the crash out and the demon that I don't think I can solve myself. I don't know if he's able to control it because I never got to know if he was able to ever control the demon. But one thing I know is that he is always the best. Whether he has the demon in his body, or whether he's just a regular crash out, or whether he's even back to being just simple rising star. We
Okay.
always stand and we always deliver. We take over companies. We have been taking over multiple companies now. We are the current EPW Tag Team Champions. We are also the current TSW Raw Tag Team Champions because we are the best. That's what makes us the best. But no one wants to see that in us. Nobody sees it in us. Because they just think we're a bunch of rookies. That's gonna change. That's gonna change at Mania. Because I'm gonna do something that I've always seen. I'm gonna make sure it happens. Undefeated streak. You think no, they think they can beat me at Mania? They think they can beat me at 3J at Mania? Watch this because I don't even think anybody's gonna beat me in the next future WrestleManias. Whether it's gonna be for this Earth Championship or for this Tag Team Championship. I have busted my ass off. And I'm not going to let that go to waste to Landon and Lion. I'm not going to let 3J down because I am the supreme OG Jeyce Williams. I am better than you because I am most dangerous here.
Yeah.
And if you want to bet on it, bet all the money you want because I'm richer, better, and badder than you'll ever be.
That. Speaking of that, you and 3J obviously what you call brothers. I do have a question. Two questions. Well, okay. So it's a question. Two questions in one. First off, we saw when the demon first showed up. I'm pretty sure it was in Buffalo. I'm not sure about that. I'm pretty sure it was in Buffalo when he attacked. You know, everyone he could. You know, when the demon first showed up, he showed up after Lion and Landon attacked him. You weren't there. You were nowhere to be seen. And so after, when you were heading what looked like the way, and you were talking about what the demon did, because there was a whole new side of 3J that you never, no, you were kind of scared yourself. It looked like, but then we got news that 3J left once you had a tag team match. The Clowns were beating you up pretty bad, the way if you remember that Jeyce Williams, and then the lights went out. The demon came out, and the demon helped you guys retain tag titles, and the EPW champion Crazy came out. Um, he said he wanted an EPW championship match against the demon. The demon slipped, almost lost, and then he won though somehow. But the question is, where were you? Why didn't you help 3J? And why do you think 3J helped you when he could have just left you high and dry?
Here are maybe a couple reasons. One reason I wasn't there is because I needed to rethink. It's because I was thinking about this yesterday. I was gonna talk to 3J about it tonight. When there's a demon, there's a devil by its side. I've always thought about that ever since he turned into the demon. The demon always has a devil by its side. Because I knew he was gonna get the job done. Because I trained him to do so. Because I made sure he busted his ass off for what, decades and more. I've made sure that me and him are always on top. And if anybody in the back thinks I look stupid saying this, who's the double champs? We are.
How facts? How facts? So you knew that there was going to be this demon, so that makes sense. You knew 3J didn't need your help, and that's what good brothers do. I feel like if you helped him, I think we might have not seen the side, and I like how we have seen the side. I'm kind of scared myself of the side. But speaking of the scary part, when 3J first saw this demon, and you were mentioning a devil, is there something inside of you that you want to maybe explore, that you think is inside of you? And another question to go kind of with that is, when you were leaving, before or no, after the demon showed up, you kind of looked scared to me. What were you thinking the moment once the demon showed up? Were you thinking, yeah, he's on my side, or were you thinking more like, I don't know, I need to get out of here before he maybe attacks me too? I won't want to put everything in jeopardy, and maybe bring out a side of me I don't know that even exists, because you said something about your uh, devil.
His power is like a superhero. You see, there are levels to it. There is a level that I cannot control. And that was the level I was mentioning earlier. The top level is the one level that I can't control. But he can. And I was only worried because that could have cost him big time. If anything, he could have killed people in that ring. So that's why you've seen me on TV every single week when he brings out this bad side of him, always hitting coup de grace after coup de grace after coup de grace. I stopped him because if I kept letting him go, it wouldn't be the end of it. Blood poured all over the ring. And the devil, you ask about the devil. I remember me and 3J, we were sitting and I we were sitting down, we were getting some drinks, and we both heard some noises. He was telling me he heard heartbeats, but I heard fire. In my mind, I was, at this time in my life, I'm thinking maybe there's something burning. But no, because I noticed not too long ago. There's something inside me that I need to show the world. I haven't got to do that yet. But, being honest, shouldn't bring it out yet. I shouldn't bring out the devil yet. Because it is not that time. There's not a single person who would even be able to stand a minute with me. Thought about it every single day. Maybe I won't lose if I bring out the demon. If I bring out the devil with the demon. But there's gonna be levels to this. And if I do, if you want me to bring him, well then I will. I will do anything to keep me satisfied of being the best.
You talk about no one can hang with your devil. If you're put in a situation where there was two big there was the demon, two big things. If there ever came a time where their egos came ahead, they cannot stay together. One had to be better. Do you think the devil would put down the demon and maybe put it to rest?
One thing I know for sure, the demon and the devil, they're side by side because they know it's their best potential that brings out the best of them. And like I mentioned, I never been able to bring them out because there's not been anybody worthy to see that. There's nobody who have driven me that far in anger for me to even feel like needing to release it. But it drives my mind insane. Every week I've seen other random wrestlers talk about me in different promotions And when that happened, I put him down. This demon that I found, this demon 3J, he was something that the devil needed side by side to make us the best. Yes, we have our regular sides. I am still the Supreme OJ. He is still the rising star, the crash out. But there is a time where we need to go to a dark place at a dark time, which makes us better than everyone. And it caught attention to my mind on if, how, when, why, the 5 W's, whatever they are. And me and 3J, nobody else can sit there and consider themselves the best. You know why? Do you know why? It's because we are the best. There's nobody that's gonna stop our grind every single week and every single day because we know what is in store for us in that whole tag team division, in the Earth Championship division, in the World Championship division. But people have been trying to push us, you see. And one quote that I know from Tupac, ain't a killer, but don't push me. That's exactly what I think about each and every day because I think to myself, if you push me, I'm a killer. But if you stay back, it's best if they do so.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I like that quote from Tupac. Actually, I have one last question for you. This interview, I'm pretty sure, longer than 3 days because you have a lot of points. I have a lot. This question for you. You have the plan A. You have a plan A of beating Landon and Lion with it without revealing what it is. If you have it, do you? Yes or no? Have a plan B if you were to fail plan A and you guys lose the tag titles at Mania? Do you have a plan B for that?
I could say yes or I could say no. Yes, I learned that there is always a plan B. Sir, what's better than 2? What's one number better than 2?
3.
Exactly. Everybody talks about there's a plan B. Nobody thinks about the third step. Nobody thinks about the third step. They only focus on the second. But I'm 2 steps ahead. Because you know why? You know why I am 2 steps ahead is because I am the greatest wrestler to step foot in EPW. I am one of the greatest champions you have ever seen. Better than Crazy. Yes, I'd love to say better than Fury because everybody knows damn well that I am.
How many GTSs?
I, I have beaten Landon before multiple times. I have beat him once. I beat him at Roadblock. At WrestleMania, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. And I'm going to retain my tag titles. And I know. And he always wants to get at us. He always wants his revenge on us. So I have one thing to say that maybe can just get put into place. Landon and Ryan, if you lose at WrestleMania, no more tag team title shots. Because clearly, you guys are so obsessed with us that maybe you should be focused on each other. Last thing to say before I end this interview. Step up. Get stepped on. Run up. Get done up. Supremacy is the best tag team because we step foot in these buildings and we prove every day, whoever in the back, we want the smoke.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview. I appreciate the interview. I love it. I love your thing. And, we're going to have to wait. If you have a plan B, plan C, maybe. You say you're 2 steps ahead, so you have something in store. I can't wait to find out when or what it is. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeyce Williams, 1/2 of the tag champion at EPW.
5-star.
EPW Earth Champion. Sorry, I couldn't remember what title. But, and then he's a part of the Supremacy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, Jeyce, who gave us a good interview, and hopefully have more interviews.
Wait. Real quick, I want you to restart over. I want to hear, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest champion of all time, the best other half of the EPW Tag Team Champions, the best wrestler, the Supremo G, the Devil, Jeyce Williams. Again, go.
Please welcome the greatest, the best. No one's above him. EPW Earth Champion. Welcome the best of the other half of the Tag Team Champions. Welcome the greatest Supremacy member of all time, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for having this interview, Jeyce. Go. Williams.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Thanks for having. Deuces. My deuces.